great to be here. First of all, let me thank all of you for being here. I know some of you actually come from outside the city, outside the state, and we have somebody here from Holland. Give her a hand. Let me also take this opportunity to thank Rob Sierra for organizing this event along with his other volunteers. Rob, as you know, is a tremendous animal rights activist, not only in this city, but across the country. He was in Los Angeles a couple of weeks ago advocating for animals in that city. So, Rob, thanks for everything, and I look forward to working with you as we move forward. People say to me, why are animals not treated fairly in New York City? Why aren't animals a priority? Well, the reason is that we have a legally corrupt political system where a lot of human needs aren't even addressed. So animals are an extremely low priority. We want to change all that. We have a system driven by big money, where if you're a big donor, you get what you want in this city. We've seen a number of investigations already at the state and city level of the corruption that we have in place. Therefore, animal care doesn't have a lobbyist. None of you are multi-billionaires that can contribute to the mayor. And even if you do, you may not get what you want because he's not very reliable on a number of fronts. He doesn't keep his promises. But let me say this, that we're going to have a major change in the city. First of all, I've got a plan to reform the political system. It's not pie in the sky. It's what they do in Seattle. It's called democracy vouchers, which will give every single voter in the city an opportunity to participate on an even level. So animal rights folks will have the same right, the same voice as a big real estate developer in this city who's got billions of dollars. And the other thing is, what we do in New York City has a ripple effect. It really does. And we have gotten contacts from Rome, Italy, from the UK, from South Africa on our animal welfare platform. It is a platform that makes an awful lot of sense, and it will put New York City on the map, and it will help animal welfare issues across the country, actually across the world. So that's why we're being contacted by folks across the country and from overseas. The plan is based on the discussions I've had with all of you, and also looking at what other cities are doing. We talked a lot about the Austin, Texas shelter system, which is a state-of-the-art. It's the gold standard. There's a no-kill policy. It's clean. It's not overcrowded. It's not full of disease. So when I become mayor, the first thing I'm going to do is put into effect a shelter plan where we have 5 shelters in the city. Each borough will have a shelter, and they will be clean, and we will have a no-kill policy. A no-kill policy. It is a disgrace that animals in this city are euthanized on a regular basis simply because there's no room and nobody cares. And there are some good people at ACC. Bottom line is they're under-resourced. Nobody really cares. The agency is under the Department of Health. Okay, the Department of Health has a lousy track record. They can't even deal with mental illness issues in the city. So animal care is really not a priority. So what I want to do is spin it out of the Department of Health and elevate its status to a full agency. There'll be an agency of the City of New York that will be called the Department of Animal Welfare, where you'll have a commissioner, you will have a board of trustees or board of advisors made up of animal activists to make sure that they run it properly. And as a former member of the City Council, I can tell you this, that when you reach the full agency status, there's a committee of the City Council follows. The budget becomes a real priority, so they fund it properly. And not only will we deal with animal rights issues in terms of no-kill policies, we will also deal with it from a holistic perspective. Neutering in Spain will be an issue that we're going to address. We're going to ban puppy mills around the city. So this is not, by the way, this is not, once again, pie in the sky. We can do it because other cities have done it. And this is New York City. It's the greatest city in the world. We should not treat animals the way we do here. It's wrong, and it will have a spillover effect all over the country. And that's why I'm pushing hard to get elected here with grassroots supports. I'm not accepting money from lobbyists or special interests. It's all grassroots money. So when I get there, I can actually do the job. Because if you start accepting money from special interests and lobbyists, what happens is you become tarnished. You become owned by those entities, like de Blasio is pretty much in the pocket of big developers in the city. That's well known. It's been documented. We don't want to do that. I want to spend my time focusing on issues that matter to people and animals. Once again, the way we treat animals is a reflection of our civilization. Therefore, it's important that we show the world that New York City can make a difference. I pointed out that what we do here has a spillover effect. I can tell you this, that I know this firsthand because I did stuff on the council that had international implications. We didn't have the power to do it, but we exposed stuff and it got the publicity. We're in the media capital of the world, so when we do something here, people pick it up across the world. So we're going to expose some of the other practices around the world in terms of animal care. For example, the Korean meat trade, where dogs are eaten in Korea, they're tortured. We're going to expose that. Korea's a great country. They're better than that. We're going to make sure that they do the right thing and they ban this practice. There are a couple of rallies coming up around the issue of meat trade in June. One sponsored by a group that's going to do it in front of the Chinese consulate. And then there's one in Columbus Circle. So we've got a couple of rallies, and we're going to expose some of this stuff, and we're going to make sure that it ends. And nobody can do it better than New York City. As I said, we're in the media capital of the world. I saw some YouTube videos of the way the Chinese treat dogs. It was horrific. Well, that's got to be exposed. And the only way you expose that is by doing a lot of this stuff and having a mayor who actually will talk about animal welfare. I mean, I will talk about this issue in the campaign, and once I'm elected, I will continue to raise it, and we're going to have that agency, a commissioner who really knows what he or she's doing. I'm not going to pick a lawyer. Sorry about that. Or a lawyer, maybe a lawyer that knows, like this gentleman who's been involved in animal welfare. But the people that are going to be involved in our agency are going to be people that are knowledgeable about animals, not bureaucrats, not some patronage appointees. They're going to be people who understand what it's all about, that we need to treat animals fairly in a humanistic fashion and set an example for the rest of the world. Now, let me finish, sir. You can. The other issues I'm going to focus on, homelessness is a big problem. We have a record number of homeless people in the city. Over 62,000 people are without shelter. I've got a program, once again, not reinventing the wheel, that will build affordable housing. I want to impose a pied-à-terre tax. In other words, there's money being parked in huge condominiums from China, from Russia. It's money that's just being invested, and those condos are laying idle. What I want to do is tax those condominiums, a pied-à-terre tax. London and Vancouver just did it, and then create an affordable housing fund where we actually can build housing for people that people can afford. The housing that's being built in the city now is really unaffordable. They say it's affordable, but it's unaffordable. I know people that work for the city that earn $40,000 a year that are living in shelters because they simply can't afford the rent. We can do better as a city, and there's a way to fund it, and my plan will do it. I'm also going to address mental health issues. We really need to have better coordination between agencies. There are a lot of folks out there that are suffering from mental illness and not being treated properly. We're going to coordinate between agencies to make sure that mental health issues are addressed in this town. 45% of the homeless have mental health issues and they're just not being treated properly. So we're going to address that. Also, alcohol and drug abuse is an issue in the shelters. We need better treatment facilities there to get people off the street. Homelessness is a tough problem. I don't plan on eliminating it in my term of office. I hope to, but I can tell you this: we can do much better than what is being done now. We got over 60,000 people on the streets of the city, and New York City can do better. Affordable housing, better mental health services, better prevention programs are important. Also, I'm a former school teacher, not only a lawyer. I taught in the public schools for 11 years, so I know a lot about education. A lot of the problems that we have with our schools, we have a lot of young kids who are growing up in really tough conditions and poverty. And those kids, when they come into a public school at 3 or 4 years of age, are already behind the 8 ball. Neurologists have pointed out that there's the tension from living in a drug-infested environment or domestic violence causes young people to have issues. So we want to set up pediatric wellness centers in poor communities in the city where mothers who are pregnant can get the help that they need from the city of New York. And we need to do that the first 3 years of a child's life. They're essential. Mass transit is another issue I want to focus on. It's inadequately funded. The trains are a disaster. We have transit deserts around the city, and we need to expand our bus and subway service. I plan on doing that as well. So finally, let me tell you the political reality. We're up against big money. De Blasio will spend millions of dollars. We don't need to spend that much, but I do need resources. So I really ask all of you to do whatever you can to donate, whether you live outside the city or not. If you live in a city, it's even better. If you can convince people who live in a city to contribute, it's also very helpful because we can get matching money from the city of New York. Once again, it's a grassroots campaign. It's not about big money. It's about getting there so we can really run the city for New Yorkers and have a decent animal care system in the city, which will be a shining light for the rest of the world. So you guys have been great. Spread the word. We've only just begun. Let's keep fighting. We're going to win in September. Thank you so much.